right, everybody, welcome into Let's Talk Live here on 9/11. And it's such a extremely sad day for America. You know, we had a school shooting in Evergreen High School in Colorado. A few students lost their life. We're here today on 9/11. It's been 24 years since 2001, since the terrorist acts of 9/11. And then yesterday we have a man that is killed over speech. Over speech. Charlie Kirk was assassinated yesterday in Utah while speaking, having a public debate, having discourse. And this now is what I guess the price of free speech is. Someone that didn't agree with what he had to say. And this is the price that we put on speech now. It's getting very scary in this country. And I want to go back and preference, you know, when the Trump assassination, and I don't care. I'm going to talk about this stuff because I have nothing to lose on this channel anymore. You know, 2,000 people have decided to leave. That's fine. If you don't care to be here anymore, you can unsubscribe too. I'm not going anywhere. I still have a lot to say on this channel, but I want to go back and reference some things that I talked about, you know, during the attempted Trump assassination. You know, I don't care what side politically you are on. I'm looking at all of this in a human being capacity. No one should ever be shot or killed because of because you don't agree with someone. This is what we're getting to now. Because you don't win, you have to go out and assassinate and kill someone over speech. This is where we've gotten in America. This is not America. We've gone back to the 1960s. That's where we're at. Is it, you know, and I asked the question, is free speech even free anymore? No, because now you lose your life. Now you lose your life. And it could be anybody. It could be anybody on any of these platforms that have public discourse that may not agree. And believe me, I get crazy emails. I just got a crazy email last night. You know, and I pray for my people that are on these platforms and go out and do public speaking or go out and meet, you know, do meet and greets, because you never know. People are cray cray. And it's sad. You know, Charlie Kirk lost his life in front of 3,000 students. They're now traumatized for the rest of their life. He lost his life in front of his young son and daughter, his wife. This is what it's come to. It's just a very sad state. But let's get into some of this. Let me just look who's in the chat. Let's see. Let's go up to the chat and then we'll get into some of this tonight. Debbie's here. Thank you for being here, Debbie. I appreciate it. Greg's here. Nice to see you. Dina Jam over here. Elaine is here. Cindy, longtime member. Thanks for being here as well. Jenny's in the house. Sandy's here. Thank you. Let's see. Kathy's here. Hello. How are you? Rollerblades, Hot Wheels in the house. Hello. How are you? Good to see you. Deborah's here. Thanks for being here. It is very sad. I don't want to see anybody. Let's just say that, you know, going back and let's say it's Joe Biden. I don't agree with Joe Biden's politics, but I don't want to see Joe Biden killed. I don't want to see Barack Obama killed because I don't agree with their politics. That's insane. And that's what, you know, this country has to be built on. The fabric is having open discussions to learn, to understand. You know, if you disagree with someone and you know, Charlie went around to universities and spoke with students and tried to kind of you know, engage in that public discourse, and was probably one of the most respectful conservative you know, pundits out there that did this and tried to approach this always with respect. Very religious man, family man. And this is how it ends for him because someone disagrees with what he said or his ideology. How about this? Instead of picking up a gun, instead of assassinating him, do your homework. Sit down and come to the table and have that discussion with him. That's why he went out and did these things, to have discussions. Let's see. Sheila's here. Nice to see you as well. Good to see you. Julie's here. Thank you so much. Marcy's in the house. Nice to see you. Cleopatra. We have, let's see. Sue is here. She said exactly. Jeffrey says some people just can't handle the truth. But, this is not how we solve it. This is not how we solve it. Tisha says, my heart is totally broken. Pamela's in the house. Nice to see you. Yeah, Barbara says we're not allowed to have a free thought anymore, let alone free speech. It's just insane. Robin says there are broken people that feel only their views matter. Cleopatra says, I'm so glad that you're speaking about this. None of the YouTubers I follow have the cajones to speak about the real issues. I applaud you. Listen, it's fact. It's true. These are things that are going on in our country. Why shy away with it? We have to open up these type of discussions and talk about them. EB says, thought is mainstream media is to blame. People like Joy Reid, Bernard Vance, Jones spew hate and people believe it. I do. I believe that the mainstream media on both sides feed a lot of this crap. On both sides. Let's see. Yeah. Tisha says our heads should not be on a constant swivel. You're right. And that's the thing that's really crazy about this too, is that I notice, like, I'm very observant. Like when I go in an area, I want to know where my exits are. I want to know where the people are around me. I'm very, cognizant of who's coming and going in an area. A lot of people are not aware of that anymore. I even saw videos of someone, was like, oh, and we saw this in the attempted Trump assassination when someone filmed up on the roof and they're like, hey, there's a guy up on the roof. And they go to a law enforcement official and like, hey, there's a guy on the roof. You need to go check that out. And we just saw another video of this. Hey, I think there's some guy up on the roof up there in Charlie's assassination yesterday. Someone was filming and they said, I think there's a guy up on the roof. It's like, why are we not running and alerting someone? Why are we not calling this out, screaming, hey, there's someone up on the roof? Be observant. Don't be afraid to go talk to someone. Go up to someone and say, hey, something's not right. Something doesn't feel right. Charlie, look at this. We have a very liberal person in the room. So I'm very liberal, and this is not the answer. The extreme polarization of politics these days is creating a thus us versus them mentality. And this is very dangerous, of course. And the thing that's scary about it now, people are losing their lives. And this is not even a politician. This is someone that just had talking points, that had a stance on how he thought that America should be shaped, the fabric of America. And we have that right to speak out on any side that we want to stand with. That is the wonderful thing about America. That's why people are proud to be here, that we have that right. And you go to other countries don't have this right. Go try to do this shit in North Korea. You don't have that right there. But that is the beautiful thing. This is what's going on is not America. This is not America. We should be able to have these discussions in an adult way. But now, I disagree with this person, so I'm going to go out and murder them in front of 3,000 people. I'm going to go out and murder them in front of their wife and small children. I was just reading his son just turned 1 year old in August. How does his wife Erica explain that? Excuse me, to her kids? Daddy's never coming home. And now they have to live with that trauma for the rest of their lives. The trauma that 3,000 people saw that on the ground. It's insane. I knew who Charlie was. I didn't really closely follow them. I kind of, follow some in the media, Candace Owens and whatever. And I try to listen to both sides, the Young Turks. I try to listen to both sides to see what's going on. I don't like hardcore following these people, but I think from what I can understand and what I've known of Charlie's speeches and the things that he talked about, he tried to approach this in a very rational way. And that's why he went out and had these open discussions. And we should be allowed to do that in this country. All right, let's pull up some of the latest on this. So the latest here, the FBI obviously released some photos of a person of interest in Charlie Kirk's assassination. And we'll read through some of this. I have some videos I want to play through. We'll play the FBI press conference today. I appreciate everybody being here. These are very important subjects to talk about because it's about free speech. And that's why, I love being able to come to this platform and talk about the things that are on my mind and give my opinion. And you may agree with me and you may not agree with me. You may say, hey, this is great civil conversation. Or you might say you're the biggest motherfucker in the world. That's your right to do that. But, it doesn't give the right to pose violence. Violence is not the way that we're going to change this country. Violence is not the way that we're going to change our political landscape. You don't get things done with violence. Britt Happens, thanks for the 2 member and friend. Thank you, Britt. You didn't have to do that. She said, much love and respect for Charlie. Okay, let's read through some of this here. So we have authorities say they have recovered a high-power bolt-action rifle used in the shooting in a wooded area. A footprint was also recovered. I believe that I also read something that they have maybe a partial handprint or handprint on the rifle itself too. Let's play this little snippet here.
Interest in the assassination of Charlie Kirk, offering a $100,000 reward for information, revealing they've now found the weapon that was used.
It is a high-powered bolt-action rifle. That rifle was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled.
And more potential critical evidence near the crime scene.
Investigators have also collected footwear impression, a palm print, and forearm imprints for analysis.
President Trump late today.
I hear they're making big progress.
And we're getting new information about the grim timeline. Investigators say their shooter arrived on Utah Valley University's campus at 11:52 a.m. We spoke to Utah DPS Commissioner Bo Mason.
I'm going to say 11:52 p.m. And I think they said that they tracked the shooter, and I think they were only there for less than 15 minutes. So this definitely was something that was planned. When I look at it, and I've heard a lot of FBI agents, a lot of previous law enforcement say that they feel, they were saying right away, this is a professional hit. It could be someone that has military background. It could be someone that has a law enforcement background. This is definitely someone that that was around firearms for a long time in their life. They probably shot firearms for a long time and had a lot of experience with firearms. The thing that's very interesting about this, and I was talking about this with someone at work today, and I tried, looking up, they were saying that this was like 200 yards away. They believe that the shooter was about 200 yards away. And I could be wrong on that, but I think that was the estimate. And we were thinking about like how far away, and this is, so let's see, how far away was JFK's shooter? Let's see. So JFK was 265 feet. And I think that comes out to about, what is that? 265 in 265 feet in yards. So let's see. So 265 feet in yards is 88 yards. And they said that, I believe this shooter, and someone might have it in the chat already because I can't see you. So let's see. 200 200 feet is 66 yards. So it's about, I think they said about 100 or 85 yards. Let's see. Someone said 80. Donovan's saying 85 yards. So, I mean, it's pretty close to the distance of Kennedy's assassination. You know, Kennedy also was a moving target, where Charlie was obviously very stationary. But it's pretty similar to the distance. All right, let's play this.
Do you know what time the gunman arrived on campus?
Yes.
Do we know if he had the rifle with him when he did?
We believe
600 feet.
We
Thank
believe
you.
it was with him.
Yeah, well, how did I
entire
do the
time.
math wrong?
Concealed.
Authorities say
It's funny because we talked about that at work today. Yeah, 200, 600 feet. I mean, that's a pretty far shot. You look at Kennedy was almost half of that. Press conference on now. Okay, let's see. I have a live feed here. Hang on. Let me just speed up. Okay.
Really sad nature that we are
we
dealing
go.
with in this world
I'm
now.
gonna try to be quiet.
So much political.
Thank you for that heads up.
Really out there of just misgivings and sometimes hate. So much of speech where now it has turned into violence and now murder of Charlie Kirk here. And again, more officials now coming, it looks like, and soon we will be getting the FBI as well as the DPS of Utah, the Department of Public Safety, and other officials. I got this other shot that we just saw more of the officials coming by right now.
Excuse me.
And
Thank you all for
again,
being
they are
here
getting
tonight.
ready and everything's slated away for this
Make
update
sure
that will be
to
happening in just a
like,
little
share,
bit.
subscribe. Say a prayer for Charlie and
I do
his
wanna show
family,
you
please.
Also earlier today, very sad moment. And the second lady, as well as Vice President J.D. Vance, coming out of.
Listen, if there's people fighting in the chat, moderators, you know how to time people out. Use your power. Give them a couple of chances, and if they don't want to comply, then you can bounce them. It's fine.
Look right here at the church in Phoenix that was just took
Of
the
course.
casket in, and we saw that play.
We're
out
waiting for
about
live press
30
conference
minutes
right now.
ago. Again, we are
FBI
going to be
update.
keeping an eye though out in Utah for the latest of this major update to come. A manhunt for Charlie Kirk's killer continues. Remember,
Hello,
just
Gina. Look at this.
yesterday, we were dealing with a situation where they had somebody, a person of interest,
Hello,
and
Tiny
then
Woods.
they
Good
had
to
to
see
let
you.
that person
You're
go
welcome, Marina.
because they interrogated that person, found out that they were not responsible for the killing of Charlie Kirk. And now we are back into a square one moment, but maybe some things have changed. You know, it was interesting earlier today.
Thank you,
They
Cindy.
put out that there was going to
29
be a
month
news
member. Look at that.
conference at 12:45 p.m. local time. And then about 45 minutes to go until that news conference happened, the Utah officials put out a statement saying because of the really fast developments that were happening in this case, they postponed it. We didn't know a time. Now we know the time where
You're welcome,
about
Sophie.
an hour ago,
Good to
we
see
learned
you.
that this news conference was going to be happening at 9:30
Well, I
p.m.
wonder if they caught
Eastern
them,
time. Just
right?
a little bit past that right now, but we do not want to go anywhere because usually, you know, what they always say when you go to a commercial waiting for this event, that is when exactly they will pop up there and start talking. So we don't want to miss anything like that. Also, we should let you know we have a new shot here of a vigil that will be taking place in College Station at Texas A&M for Charlie Kirk. That will be happening in moments as well. So we'll be able to show you some of the highlights a little bit later as well. But you can see they have a guitarist getting ready, and this event about to begin any moment as well. Back out to Utah right now, where the FBI update will be happening in just moments, and
we'll hang here,
to you
obviously.
all on live now from Fox as it does happen. But yeah, we were just talking about how we were learning earlier this afternoon that there would be a news conference. It did get
Wow.
delayed
Impressive.
because of some
$2 million.
developments.
Wow.
We do not know what that is just yet, but it had to be big enough for the FBI Director Kash Patel to leave New York City and come to Utah. So they were making sure that that was all put into place so he would be able to speak and give the latest developments from the FBI side of this investigation. We should also let you know that the Marshal Service is also joined in the task here of this manhunt because they have a fugitive that is on the loose right now. And at least that is the latest updates here that we are able to give to you on Live Now from Fox.
So we're waiting that press conference from the FBI. Technically out says, hey, I'm a practicing Christian. I always try to lead with love. I do not care that Mr. Kirk was politically different than me. He's a human being. He should never been murdered that way. Prayers. I completely agree. I completely agree. Let's see. Jay Blaze says Charlie had over 30 million followers and left didn't like that. Yeah. Sandy B, thank you so much. Hit that, smash that like button. I would appreciate it. If you haven't subscribed, make sure to subscribe. We're waiting the live press conference from an update from the FBI on the Charlie Kirk assassination. Do we think that maybe they have a person in custody? Let me know in the chat. Do you think that they caught the person of interest? The photos that we've seen? Let me know. Yeah, of course you can. I don't know if you're going to be able to because you don't have a wrench. But you can obviously direct people to the page that they need to go to. They have a name. Oh, wow. Let's see if we have any. Let's see if anything's leaked yet. Let's see. Charlie Kirk. 13 minutes ago. Update 37
All right, everyone,
minutes
we
ago.
continue
Okay, here we
to
go.
bring you the latest here on Live Now from Fox. Again, waiting for these updates coming out of Utah. But I do want to bring in my next guest to help us get ready for this news conference as well as talk about the active investigation and manhunt that continues on. Please welcome our next guest here, Jeff James. Former Secret Service agent, spent more than 2 decades as a Secret Service agent and had presidential details as well. Jeff, thanks so much for joining us this evening, and it's an honor to talk with you.
Thank you for having me. I'm honored to be here.
Thank you. All right, so let's talk right about this active investigation right now. The manhunt continues, and just a little bit ago, we were getting new information and new stills of the suspect. What can you tell us about as the FBI and others putting this information out there?
Earlier in the day, that the FBI was saying they weren't ready to.
Do you think they have a name? Do you think that they've caught this person of interest? Let me know in the chat. What do you think? Do you think they have a name? Do you think they have a person of interest? Yeah, FBI says 100K reward. Oh, these are some new photos. I haven't seen these yet.
Surprised if this press conference was going to be used right now to announce that they had the identity of this person. Maybe not that they had them in custody, but that they have their identity. This is powerful stuff that you're looking at with these stills, and along with the reward they're offering, somebody's going to come forward.
Yeah, that is, I mean, we're definitely hoping for that. And once they have a name out there, Jeff, tell us how that really then shapes the investigation and puts, I would feel, maximum pressure on this individual.
Oh, for sure. And look, everything is going to continue in the background. All the forensics investigations are going to continue. All the eyewitness testimony, or I'm sorry, interviews are going to continue, because, you know, there's something that happens when people witness trauma, that their memory kind of blanks for about 24 hours.
I agree, Jay Blaze. Yeah, the people that know him need to start talking.
Police departments, you'll see that they'll have a policy where
I do too, Angela.
Shooting, they don't interview them for facts.
One of the names you heard is Sky Valdez. Interesting. We'll have to see. I don't want to put any names out until it's confirmed, but
I just remembered I saw this
that's speculation
in this direction, or whatever it would would be.
Let me just, I'm going to turn down the volume here and just say this technically out. Thanks for the $10. I appreciate it. Says, good evening, everyone. It's Piney Woods on my others account. So grateful for your empathetic coverage of this horror. I wrote my dissertation in Angred on the 60th assassinations of the 60s. This was a plan. Wow. Yeah. I mean, this is where we are. We're back. We've turned back the clock to the 60s again. Yeah, those are very much clearer than the ones that we've seen so far. That's a good point, Leslie. Let's turn up the sound here and see what's going on.
Now, Jeff, I want to get your insight too on what I know hindsight is 2020, but what did you think of the venue where Charlie Kirk was yesterday? And, did you see some areas where there was security flaws?
No, and I'm going to clarify this, saying I said they shot him because they lost. No, I'm saying that when we have a presidential election, and I know Charlie's not a politician, I'm just saying in general, okay? You have a debate, you lose, you don't see someone's point of view, whatever, a political figure doesn't get into the office that you want them to get into. This is what I'm talking about. Because someone doesn't agree with what you said, or someone doesn't get into the office that you want them to hold, this is not the way that you solve that problem. Okay. You don't go out and assassinate someone. That was what I was talking about. Just because I don't agree or you don't agree doesn't mean that we should go out and start Xing each other out. It doesn't make any sense. And that's why I'm saying free speech is just coming to a point where it's not free anymore. All right, let's turn up the volume.
There's so much less you need to worry about.
And do you think that's where it probably needs to go in the future for not only political events, but like pundits that are doing political events? I mean, do you think it's going to have, an inside presence?
I don't know if it will, but I think it should. If you look at the two assassination attempts last year on President Trump, what happened to Charlie yesterday, the assassination of Prime Minister Abe in Japan, these were all outdoor events. And it really takes on a huge level of risk not having the cover of a building and the security of walls around you.
Yeah, that's so true. And going back here, Jeff, to this upcoming news conference, so we're hoping to learn a lot more details. But just give us some insight about, as soon as the shooting happened, just how fast resources were deployed. And I mean, they're probably looking at every ring camera that they can in that neighborhood.
I even said this, and this is a good point. Caroline says, hey, I'm a registered Republican, and I feel just as angry if someone on the right did something like this to a prominent left figure, for the lack of a better term. And I said this even during when I did the attempted Trump assassination show. And look, if that was Joe Biden, I don't want Joe Biden. That's not how we change politics. That's not how we change politics. It's not how we change the fabric of America. I don't agree with Joe Biden, but I don't want him to go out and someone to take shots and try to kill him. It's ridiculous. All right, let's hear.
Once they found the direction of travel and they knew this person had, where they found the weapon in the woods. All right, these are the two neighborhoods nearby. We're going to scour these neighborhoods. And again, just like we're seeing, went to citizens and said, hey, if you have some kind of video doorbell or alarm system, we'd love to take a look at it. And by that point, the good part is they know exactly who and what they're looking for, so they're going to be easy to spot. And in a residential setting like we're seeing, that probably doesn't have a lot of foot traffic, that probably made it easier. But yeah, they were approaching private citizens, businesses, even probably,
You're just jumping in. We have the FBI that's going to be doing a live press conference here. They're saying any moment. So we'll wait and see what kind of updates they have. And, I got to ask the question, do you think that they caught this person of interest? Do you think they have a name? Are they going to release a name? Let me know what you think in the chat. All right, let's go.
TMZ getting this. And, they showed the before and after of the shooting. And before you see the suspect here, a person of interest, and he has that walk because no doubt he's carrying that weapon.
Well, that could be it. Or I know he jumped down from a roof, so he may have injured himself, possibly, because we know he stashed the weapon in the woods when he left. So I think this may just be the limp from an injury in his haste to get down off the roof.
Look at that.
Yeah, just so many different moving parts definitely here in this investigation. But you're dealing with now a public, especially really across the country, that is grieving the loss there of Charlie Kirk, and especially the ones that witnessed that. And we all saw what happened there. You know, it's been on social media, just very devastating. And to think that, you know, this person did it with one shot. Talk a little bit about maybe the accuracy and sharpshooter skills of this person.
Yeah, so there had to be some kind of, I don't know if there was any kind of formal training. We'll certainly know that when this person's apprehended. Or they probably, if they know who it is, they probably know that already. But there was some level of practice. You know, I've heard the quotes everywhere from a 360 to a 400-foot shot. I've heard all the way up to 200 yards. With weapon systems that are available now and sighting systems, it's not super difficult. You know, I could train you to do that probably in a day, but it would also take some practice. It's a perishable skill that you're going to lose. So it's going to take some practice. And then you add in the fact that this person's, hopefully we're going to find out they've never killed anyone before. They've probably never taken a shot at a real person before, so their heartbeat was probably going about 140 beats a minute. They were probably sweating and breathing heavy. So, you know, a shot from that distance takes a reasonable amount of skill. Not impossible to teach a layperson to do it or train a layperson to do it, but it would take some time and some practice for sure.
And Jeff, as this manhunt does continue, do you think the suspect is surprised even that they were able to get away and this manhunt is continuing? Or do you think, oh, you know, this person probably thought, hey, I could shoot him and get away with it maybe?
Well, you know, they may have been surprised because what we see in a lot of incidents like this is they don't have an egress plan. We see that in school shootings and workplace shootings where the person knows they're going to kill themselves at the end of the deed. So there may have been the intention by this person to, you know, have a firefight. Firefight with police and die that way. But maybe even surprise themselves a little bit that they were able to get away. It seemed like he had the intention to go, but there may have been in the back of his mind the idea that I'm going to go down fighting. And we'll find that out too when he's apprehended and we find out what was in his bag. If he had additional weapons, that'll indicate that.
No, I know.
After this happened to Charlie, does anything change for President Trump's detail, for Vice President J.D. Vance?
You know, the most important thing is this is about free speech. You know, like people can't get cut down. I don't care what fucking side you are on politically. I don't care. I don't care. You should have the right to speak. And I don't care. But this is not how we shape the fabric of America, by gunning people down, politicians, pundits, whatever it may be, whatever side. I mean, this could be, I mean, just think about it. If it's like a debate about trash in your neighborhood, someone thinks that it should be picked up at 7, someone thinks that it should be picked up at 8. And the person at 7 gets really pissed off at the person at 8 and they go to their house and attack them. I mean, this is what it's coming to now. That's not how we solve problems. So if you're just jumping in, again, we're waiting for the FBI. They're supposed to be doing an update here. Real quick. Heatherlicious, thank you so much. Look at this. Member for 20 months. Thank you so much. Hope you're doing well. Thank you so much. Trying to be as well as I can right now.
So it's good that he was undeterred.
I am having some health issues at the moment, but we're getting some answers, and hopefully we'll have some answers soon. But I'll keep everybody updated.
This is Jeff James, my guest, joining us, giving us
let's see.
Insight, a former Secret Service agent, spending more than 20 years with the service. Thank you for all that you did to keep your protectees safe and
at any moment, Leslie,
America safe as well. What surprised you the most, Jeff, from yesterday's event.
Yeah, I saw that,
Obviously,
Steve.
the
Yep.
death, very, very sad for the family there of Charlie. But was there anything that really stuck out as far as his personnel, his security detail that he had?
Yeah, his son that was 1 year, well, he had a son that was 1 year old and a daughter that was 3. I mean, the trauma that these kids are going to go through for the rest of their life. You know, how do you explain that? How do you explain that to your kids? How does Charlie's wife Erica explain that to their kids, that daddy's never coming home? I couldn't imagine. I could not imagine. All right. Well, looks like we have the FBI that's coming to the podium. Let's
wasn't really surprised, and I see they're stepping to the mic, so I'll let you go ahead and take it away.
We are going to bring everyone to this. Thank you, Jeff. We are going to listen in right now on Live Now from Fox.
Please have this person in custody. Please. Something. Or a name. Give us a name.
Hi, everybody. Thank you for being here today. My name is Hillary Kellner. I am the Communications Director for the Utah Department of Public Safety. This evening, we have FBI Director Patel, FBI Deputy Director Dan Bongino, Special Agent in Charge Robert Bowles, Governor Spencer Cox, Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson, and Commissioner Anderson, as well as Commissioner Bo Mason, as well as some local partners here present with us today. Governor will kick it off. Governor Spencer Cox, Lieutenant Governor Deidre Henderson, and Commissioner Anderson, as well as Commissioner Bo Mason, as well as some local partners here present with us today. Governor will kick it off.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us here tonight. We appreciate the media and the partnership we have with you in helping us to get information out to the public so that we can catch this assassin and hold him accountable. We are going to share a portion of a video and that we have of the suspect, as well as some new stills. Those have already been released, but we want to make sure that they get as much attention as possible so that we can get help from the public in tracking down this evil human being. So we're going to cue up the video right now, show that. I've asked Commissioner Bo Mason if he would narrate to you what is happening in this video.
Thank you, Governor. Bo Mason, Commissioner for the Utah Department of Public Safety. If you look up to the top left, you'll see the building where the shooter was proned out in the top left corner. We'll go ahead and play that video and I'll narrate as we walk through that. So here you see the suspect ran behind that upper building. He's going to come out on the right, moves to this far right corner. As he does, he's going to climb off the edge.
Wow.
And then drop down to the ground. As he did that, he left some palm impressions. There's some smudges, some places we're looking to collect DNA. There's a shoe imprint where we believe the suspect is clearly identified as wearing Converse tennis shoes. Again, we'll replay that again so you can get another view of that. It's important to note his black t-shirt, his black pants, and there appears to be some white on the soles of those Converse tennis shoes. Those are all identifiable items that we're looking for. In the stills that are going to follow this, you're going to see a very distinctive t-shirt with an American flag and appears to have an eagle on it. There's also a baseball cap with a triangle on it and a pair of sunglasses. All distinctive, all things that we would ask the public to look for and try to identify if they know someone who has those items, who has been seen wearing those items. We're looking for all that information. Here you see the suspect after dropping off the building. He moved around across this grassy area, around the parking lot. We're going to pan to the right. After he crosses the street, this is where he moves over into the wooded area. This is the video evidence that we utilize to track his movements. and to locate that firearm in that wooded area following the discovery of this evidence. Good. You want to go to the stills? So here's the still photographs. I mentioned these have been enhanced. So these are slightly different than what we introduced earlier. Please pay close attention to the t-shirt. Like I said, very distinctive with that American flag and that eagle. The hat with the triangle and the sunglasses. If you'll go to the next picture, please. The backpack as well. All identifying features that we're hoping the public can help us identify and lead us to this suspect. Next picture.
I agree, Lauren.
And again, there's a better picture of the hat with that triangle logo, and again, the t-shirt, blue jeans, and you get a good look at those Converse tennis shoes as well. We have pushed these out. We'll continue to push these out, and we just ask for the public's cooperation through the public. The tips that have been coming in are what are giving us our next leads and enabling us to continue to further this investigation. We've had great cooperation from the public, and we're continuing to ask for that as we move forward. Thank you, and I'll turn the time back over to Governor Cox.
Thank you so much, Commissioner Mason. I want to thank Director Patel and his team. It's great to have them on the ground with us tonight. We've had several briefings, and he's had an opportunity to walk the crime scene. We appreciate our local law enforcement here. Again, we have Mike Smith, who is the county sheriff here. We have all of our local chiefs of police that are here as well, all working hand in hand with the state and with the FBI as we move forward with this investigation. Now, I'll just give you a little warning. We will not be taking any questions at this time. We're giving you the latest information we have, being as transparent with everything that we have. But I do want to share a couple things that I think are important. We cannot do our job without the public's help right now. The public has answered our call for action. So far, we've received more than 7,000 leads and tips. I would just note that the FBI hasn't received this many digital media tips from the public since the Boston Marathon bombing. This case also highlights the dedication of our law enforcement community. We have 20 federal, state, and local law enforcement partners that are working shoulder to shoulder to find the person who committed this horrific crime. With their support, we've completed nearly 200 interviews. As you're aware, as has already been reported, the FBI is offering a $100,000 reward for information leading to the identification and arrest of the person responsible for the murder of Charlie Kirk. We also continue to implore the public to support this investigation and come forward with any information. We are truly hopeful that this video and new photos will lead to even more tips. We are processing. We have an incredible team, a state and federal team working together to process those tips. We are going out in tandem to interview any potential person of interest or suspects. But we need, again, we need as much help as we can possibly get. Any videos or photos that you might have, the public, should be submitted to our digital media tip line, which is www.fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting, all lowercase. Again, that is fbi.gov/Utah Valley shooting, all lowercase. You can also provide general tips about the shooting by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's 1-800-CALL-FBI, or at tips.fbi.gov. This is, I would just say, this is not just a local matter here in Utah. We have people all over the country that are helping to bring this perpetrator to justice for Charlie Kirk and his family. I will just add as well that, as was mentioned, there is a lot of forensic evidence that is being processed right now at both the state lab and the federal labs, federal lab on the East Coast. So we are working in tandem together. I would also just add a word of note for those people who are spending so much time on social media. I think Charlie said it best, that when things get bad, we should put our phones down and spend a little time with our families. There is a tremendous amount of disinformation. We are tracking our our team, the state team, and I'm sure the federal team as well, what we're seeing is our adversaries want violence. China, we have bots from Russia, China, all over the world that are trying to instill disinformation and encourage violence. I would encourage you to ignore those, to turn off those streams, and to spend a little more time with our families. We desperately need some healing. We'll have more to say about that in the days and weeks to come. More than anything, we are going to catch this person. Last thing I will just say is we've been working with our attorneys, getting everything that we need, affidavits ready, so that we can pursue the death penalty in this case, and that will happen here in the state of Utah. Again, to the public, to those who are grieving, thank you for your prayers. I know we are feeling those prayers. I know the Kirk family is feeling those prayers as well. We pray that God will bless our nation at this very dark time. We can start healing by finding this perpetrator and holding him accountable, and we need your help to do that. Thank you.
All right, there is the update. More than 7,000 tips have come in. They are continuing to comb through those tips, and they want the public's help. Again, they have been showing some new video, some new photos as well, and we got that new video of the suspect jumping down from the roof. I want to bring in our guest that has continued to be such a great resource for us and give us such great insight. Jeff James, former Secret Service agent. Thanks again. And Jeff, what was some of the big takeaways that you took from this news conference?
Oh, I took two away. Well, three. My first one is I am a little surprised they don't have an identity yet. I think that's coming quickly. But just a little surprised they haven't identified him yet. But that leads me to the second thing I take away from that. It was when the governor said about how law enforcement counts on the general public's help. That is just not for Charlie Kirk's murder. That is every day. Every time you see an Amber Alert, every time you see a wanted poster pop up, on your feed in social media, every time you see a missing child alert pop up, those are all times that law enforcement is counting on the general public's help. And we couldn't do it without you. I'll say that, I'm in my 30th year in law enforcement now, and the help we've always gotten from the general public is invaluable. And then the third thing I will say is how he said there's over 20 agencies united in this manhunt. Incredible amount of men and women out there, all with the same goal. I don't know if the suspect is listening right now, but if he is, I would tell him his best bet right now. I don't know what his end game is, but his best bet right now might be to walk into a police station and just say, "Here I am. It's time to take me in," because he's going to get found. Whether he chooses to try to go live in the woods or whether he has a friend, hole him up somewhere, somebody's going to see him and somebody's going to say something, and it's going to end for him.
Yeah, no doubt about that, especially with all these new photos and videos. I mean, look at the one they showed just moments ago of him climbing down the roof there and then jumping down and then ultimately going across the street into that field. But that was some new video that we received just moments ago from the authorities.
Yeah, and this was kind of hot.
So real quick, I'm going to go to the twit here real quick. I guess this is what everybody is talking about. The Sky Valdez. I guess some people on 4chan were all over this. And again, I can't confirm nor deny, but I'm just going to put this up. I guess this is what everybody was talking about, the Sky Valdez. So we have multiple accounts reporting that they may have identified Charlie Kirk shooter. 4chan intel identifies suspect Sky Valdez has a SoundCloud with tracks that was uploaded with a track a month ago titled Charlie Kirk Dead at 31. Wow. Deleted the track and changed his location to Leave Me Alone. Lives in Utah. That's crazy. And here's some photos of the, I guess, person. Oh, look at this. Charlie Kirk Dead at 31. He's got people commenting, FBI is coming at your door. You call it coincidence, but I call it bullshit. It's pretty crazy. So this is what 4chan's kind of snuffed out. Let's see. Lauren says one of the most interesting theories that she's heard so far is that this is a false flag to distract from the evidence. It's funny. And you know what's really funny about this too? As this was going on yesterday, what were they doing? They were having a hearing on Capitol Hill about UFOs. It's fucking crazy. But I don't know. This is, I guess, some of the things that 4chan kind of put out. I don't know. I can't confirm or deny, but that is one of the reports that are put out, and people are saying Sky Valdez. This I don't know. Maybe in the chat you let us know what you think. Do you think this is the person of interest? Let's go back to the live. Let's see. Let's go back here real quick. Let's see what they're saying.
Woods or in the mountains to avoid it. And not just cameras that are going to record what people are doing as they pass by, but license plate reading cameras. And there's software now that detects weapons, and there's software that will do.
I don't know if you all heard. So TMZ, apparently what happened was, and I don't know if you all heard this and saw this, there's a video of it out there, but apparently they were doing a live stream, and they had gone in to announce that Charlie Kirk had been shot. And when that came out, there was cheering in the back. Now, this is all on live stream. There's cheering going on in the back room. They cut the live feed, and then and now his name's going to escape. Harvey Letterman comes back up and does a video posted on X and says, oh, you know, I want to apologize. At the moment that we were talking about Charlie Kirk getting shot, there were like producers or reporters watching a feed of a police chase, and they were all reacting to the way that the person was escaping the police. And I'm like, what? And, you know, we're all very truly sorry that this happened. It was just a timing thing. I mean, I don't know. It's a little crazy. Oh, it was when they announced that he passed. That's right. That's right. It was when they announced that he passed. Thank you for that clarification. And I was like, I don't know. That's pretty weak. That's pretty weak. Knowing where TMZ is located, knowing the politics out there, I don't know. It was pretty weak. Yeah.
It didn't seem like there was a well thought out egress plan there.
And Jeff, lastly here, no questions were taken. They didn't want to take any questions, and Kash Patel did not speak either, the FBI director. Were you surprised by that?
No, because I feel like if they opened it to questions, we have so many, and the press they are inquiring minds. They probably could have been there for hours answering questions. So that could have been just for the sake of time, since it's getting toward the evening hours. Or it just could have been like, hey, we're going to tell you what we have now. We're going to ask for the public's help. Now we're going to go sit back and watch the public do their work and help us bring this guy in.
Yeah, and that's what we're hoping, that it happens fast there, so justice can be served for this individual. Jeff James, thanks so much for joining us on Live Now from Fox for the last 45 minutes. Great insight and details into this investigation. We really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. It was my pleasure.
You take care. All right, everyone. We will take a 2-minute break on Live Now from Fox. Stay right here with us. More to come in just
stay
moments.
with me here. I'm trying to find video sound real quick. You guys can keep chatting. I'm gonna see if I can find that video of Harvey doing his apology. Let's see. They have so much in their feed. Oh, here it is right here. I got it. Let's see. No, I don't have it. Hang on. Did they take it down? Tell me they took it down. Let's see. The video is brutal. Yeah, I'm not gonna watch the video. I want to watch TMZ, their apology. I think they took the video down. Really? Apology. Okay, hang on. Let's see if I got it. I think I have the video. They're probably gonna nail me anyway. Let's see. I want to play it anyway. Let's see. This is the TMZ apology.
During this tragedy, when something happened in our office, as we were reporting the assassination of Charlie Kirk, there were some people in the back room away from our news desk here who were watching a car chase, and they were laughing, they were clapping, and you could hear it out here. And we want to make a couple of things clear. One is that I know these people.
One is we don't want to get fucking sued, for being dicks and having that happen in our background. I mean, I don't know. This just seems like totally over-explaining right now. Let me back this up. Let's listen to this.
A couple of things clear. One is that I know these people, and they were not laughing. They were not reacting that way about Charlie Kirk's assassination. They were not. They would not work here if they did.
And that being said, we acknowledge that it was horrible timing. And for that, we are sorry.
We apologize. We apologize that you had to hear that.
And I get why, if you're watching the stream, you may have felt that that's what the laughter was about. We assure you it was not about that, but it was horrible timing. And
by the way, I get it too. And he gets it because we listened as we were talking.
You can go back and look on the stream. I actually walked off camera to go back and find out what the hell was going on, because it was inappropriate for the laughter at that time. But no one was laughing about the Charlie Kirk tragedy.
Nevertheless, we apologize for the way it sounded.
Yeah. Nan and I were discussing, we're going to be doing a live stream pretty soon. We're going to get a live stream going together. It's been a while since her and I. Let's go to the vigil here.
I would also like to extend my special thanks to Texas A&M University officials, event services, and UPD for providing a safe and free environment to mourn the loss of a truly great servant of God. I know that Charlie Kirk would be so proud to see that, though he has passed, his mission of educating the youth and lessening the political divide on college campuses has not and will not stop at Texas A&M University. While I only got to meet Charlie a few times, I know that us as a university and a campus made a lasting impact on him. He embraced the agriculture with open.
I'm not laughing because of the visual. I'm actually looking at. I want to pull this up really quick. So I just and not that I'm going to be rude and cut out of that, but I want to go back to that TMZ addressing the tone deaf. So someone in here asked Grok, were there any car chases or police? Let me just make sure my screen's up here. Were there any car chases or police chases between 12 and 4 Mountain Standard Time? Based on news reports from sources like Fox LA, ABC 7, KTLA, no car chases or police pursuits were reported between 12 p.m. or 4 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on September 11, 2025. There was one in Los Angeles around 12:30 a.m. Pacific time earlier that day. Let's see. Updating an early response. Upon further review, sources like ABC 7 and Fox 11, there were police pursuits in South LA starting in 1:17 p.m., which fits the 12 to 4 p.m. window, considering the time zones that align with TMZ's explanation. Explanation. Why can I not say that word tonight? I've never seen you reply back to someone with Trutch tagging you, Gronk. In fact, in times, this is. I think people are still calling out TMZ's bullshit on this one. Yeah. I don't know. I don't buy it. Let's go to earlier today. The FBI spoke earlier today in a press conference. Let's go back to see what they had to say. Let's see. Did I have the video of that?
Charles E. Sabin, Jr.
I want to go to... yeah, this was really crazy too. There was a naval lockdown, lockdown at a naval academy today. Why do I not have? I think that turned out to really be nothing. Let's see. Where was that press conference? Oh, this is from earlier, right here. Let's play the one from earlier today.
Crime scene tape is still up, and investigators on the Shots were fired. Department of Gun.
Eyes and honor.
Here we go.
Those that sacrificed
It's from earlier today
to preserve the ideals of this country, the freedoms of this country. And instead, we find ourselves today hunting a murderer who chose to violate our rights, the rights of an individual within this country. Just to recap yesterday's events, at around 12:20 p.m., political influencer Charlie Kirk was at Utah Valley University participating in a student-sponsored event with Turning Point USA. Charlie was shot at that event. He was transported to a local hospital where he later passed. Last night, his body was moved to the state office of the medical examiner. We will continue to facilitate movements to get him home today and with his family. Yesterday, during the investigative process, we located a couple of persons of interest. We interviewed those individuals, and after releasing them and after clearing them of being suspects, they faced scrutiny. They faced threats. We asked the public to be patient with the investigative process. These individuals were not suspects. They were people of interest. We ask that you do not impose into those people and that investigative process. They don't deserve that harassment for being subject to that. I'd like to thank all the investigators that are involved in this. They have worked around the clock all day yesterday, through the night last night. Investigators from the State Bureau of Investigations, from county, from city agencies, the university, our federal partners with the FBI, the ATF, and many others. Those are just a few of the people that we have involved in this. I'd like to thank all of them for their strong work. Through all that work last night, we were able to make a few breakthroughs. We were able to track the movements of the shooter. Starting at 11:52 a.m., this subject arrived on campus, shortly away from campus. We have tracked his movements onto the campus, through the stairway.
Yeah, real quick, I'm reading a report on that just a few minutes ago, and I want to get to this. Student shot after mistaken ID mishap with officer during naval. Let's pull this up really quick. It's just such a, I can't believe this is, this is what we're dealing with now in America today. It's too much. Let's see. This here, let's pull this up. Let's take a look. I have a report of NBC News is reporting student shot after mistaken ID with officer during Naval Academy lockdown. The institution in Maryland was placed on lockdown after a former student made threats online that appeared as though they were on campus, a source says. This was at 8:53 p.m. Law enforcement officers shot a student at a U.S. Naval Academy on Thursday during a lockdown that was prompted by an online threats from someone that had been kicked out of the institution, a source said. The shooting in Annapolis, Maryland campus occurred after a midshipman, which is what all students at the academy are called, mistook a responding law enforcement officer for a threat and struck the officer with a parade rifle used for training. The source said the student and law enforcement officer shot was hospitalized and is expected to be okay. The source said. Helicopter video from NBC affiliate WBAL in Baltimore showed someone being wheeled out on a stretcher to a waiting state police helicopter. The lockdown was prompted by anonymous threats made on social media by a student who had been kicked out of the academy, the source said. The student is not on campus, but used an IP address to make it look as though they were. Jesus Christ. And according to the source, the student believed they may have threats. Was at his home at the time, the source said. The threat had been locked down. The Naval Academy occurred the day after the fatal shooting. Prominent right-wing figure Charlie Kirk at the Utah University on the day that unfolded threats targeted at least 5 historic black colleges, prompting lockdowns at those campuses. So that is the latest. Yeah, that was yesterday, the Colorado shooting. I think 2 students got hurt, or 2 students were killed. I mean, this is just I mean, we can't take any more, America. Jesus Christ. Yeah. Oh, let me get my light out of the way. Let's see. What do we got? I want to go back to, let's go to so we had the press conference earlier today. Let's see what Trump had to say about this. I'm going to play this video right quick.
To my great fellow Americans, I am filled with grief and anger at the heinous assassination of Charlie Kirk on a college campus in Utah. Charlie inspired millions, and tonight, all who knew him and loved him are united in shock and horror. Charlie was a patriot who devoted his life to the cause of open debate and the country that he loved so much, the United States of America. He fought for liberty, democracy, justice, and the American people. He's a martyr for truth and freedom, and there's never been anyone who was so respected by youth. Charlie was also a man of deep, deep faith, and we take comfort in the knowledge that he is now at peace with God in heaven. Our prayers are with his wife, Erica, the two young, beloved children, and his entire family, who he loved more than anything in the world. We ask God to watch over them in this terrible hour of heartache and pain. This is a dark moment for America. Charlie Kirk traveled the nation, joyfully engaging with everyone interested in good faith debate. His mission was to bring young people into the political process, which he did better than anybody ever, to share his love of country and to spread the simple words of common sense. On campuses nationwide, he championed his ideas with courage, logic, humor, and grace. It's a long past time for all Americans and the media to confront the fact that violence and murder are the tragic consequence of demonizing those with whom you disagree day after day, year after year, in the most hateful and despicable way possible. For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today, and it must stop right now. My administration will find each and every one of those who contributed to this atrocity and to other political violence, including the organizations that fund it and support it, as well as those who go after our judges, law enforcement officials, and everyone else who brings order to our country. From the attack on my life in Butler, Pennsylvania last year, which killed a husband and father, to the attacks on ICE agents, to the vicious murder of a healthcare executive in the streets of New York, to the shooting of House Majority Leader Steve Scalise and 3 others, radical left political violence has hurt too many innocent people and taken too many lives. Tonight, I ask all Americans to commit themselves to the American values for which Charlie Kirk lived and died, the values of free speech, citizenship, the rule of law, and the patriotic devotion and love of God. Charlie was the best of America, and the monster who attacked him was attacking our whole country. An assassin tried to silence him with a bullet, but he failed, because together we will ensure that his voice, his message, and his legacy will live on for countless generations to come. Today, because of this heinous act, Charlie's voice has become bigger and grander than ever before, and it's not even close. May God bless his memory. May God watch over his family, and may God bless the United States of America. Thank you.
Wow. I don't know if you just saw this. I just saw this on X. Check this out. So this was apparently where the shooter was set up, and look at this. This is the impressions of the footwear. This says photos have been released showing the sniper's nest used in the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And I wonder, having that area where that kind of, where they use the stone on top, so you're not slipping around everywhere, to get kind of a firm, setting area. I wonder if this was probably the location that was chosen. And obviously you can see the clear shot at the tent as well too. But it's interesting. It has that stone on the roof. Let's go to this too. I don't know if you all saw this. This was a video. Check this out. It's not going to actually show the shot, but you're going to hear the shot here.
Free Palestine. There's a genocide.
What's that referencing? To love one another.
The love one another is referencing the Bible. It's referencing Jesus' teachings. I'm a Christian. I don't know much about Christianity. I've struggled with it a lot, but recently I feel like there's been not enough love in the world. I feel like there's been so much hate. Even here, all of these people out there, I might disagree with most of them, but I still love them for who they are, and I respect a lot of the opinions they have. That's what that's referencing.
And it's like love one another isn't just a Christian concept. That's a human concept.
That's a human
We should be accepting, and we should love other people.
I'm very atheist. I believe in that.
I'm
very atheist. I believe in that wholeheartedly.
Okay.
Society doesn't work without us loving each other and getting along. Otherwise, there's just disputes and conflicts, and it gets ugly.
Okay. So you got the rainbow pin on there?
Yep.
What's that mean?
Gay pride.
Gay pride.
I support LGBTQ+.
Okay. Would you guys go support gay pride in Palestine?
So yes, in Palestine, a lot of people will.
Would that be something you guys would be willing to do in person?
I feel like no, I'd get bombed. I'd get killed.
Yeah, I don't live in Palestine also. So. Okay. I do it here because I live here,
Okay. All right.
A lot of people bring up the argument that in Palestine it's not legal to be gay. It is not legal. Like people love to.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot.
Yeah, I've heard that a lot too. And I just believe that they still should not be mass murdered. Their children shouldn't be killed at the age of 0.
We also don't condone Hamas either. We don't think that's all right.
We're not supporting terrorism.
Say that one more time real quick.
We also don't condone Hamas. We think the genocide's wrong on both sides.
We're just saying that we're not advocating
Israel is the one that's doing the most harm.
We're pro-Jewish people and pro-Palestinian people.
We think people should live and people have a right to live.
And that's kind of back to the love one another thing.
No, and this is how discussions should happen. This is how discussions should happen in this country. No one's getting out of hand. No one's screaming and yelling. No one's punching anybody. No one's assassinating anybody. You may not agree with the conversations that were going on, but this is how we have discourse in this country. Everybody's being respectful here. They may not all agree, and they're probably not agreeing. You can tell the reporter doesn't agree with what they're saying. He asked him, would you go support gay pride in Palestine? He's not agreeing with them, but they're having a civil discourse. They're having a conversation. I don't agree with everything that's being said there, but I don't want to go out and punch any of these people in the face or try to assassinate them. It's insane. All right, this is going to be just before the shot. All right, let's play here.
It's like love everyone.
Love everyone, regardless of race. Everybody.
Well, thanks, guys. Appreciate you guys coming out here.
We appreciate you. Love you too.
You gonna go down and get closer? Or are they restricting you guys up here or what?
The wild thing about it too is that Charlie was literally answering a question about gang violence. It's just crazy. And gang violence with guns. And I know this goes into the whole gun debate and, gun control and all this other things. Listen, people kill people. All right, let's play this. We're going to hear the shot.
It's just, there's just so much.
Before we had a flag and we had it, so it's positioned above the tent, so it would be in the camera. It made us move.
What was that?
He just got shot! Holy shit! Holy shit!
There's been a shooting. There's been a shooting. We heard shots. We heard shots. You guys okay? Okay, love you. Be safe. Okay, be safe. Bye. Apparently, there's been a shooting. I don't know who's been shot.
Point, Meredith.
We are here live at Utah Valley State University. There's been a shooting at the Charlie Kirk event, the TPUSA event. There has been a shooting. Everybody's evacuating. I don't know if that was shots or if that was fireworks, to be honest, but...
You know, in the fucking mainstream media, I heard this report like, oh, we didn't know if someone was there with their gun celebrating and shooting it off into the air. You gotta be fucking kidding me. That they were trying to sell that bill of goods on one of these stupid fucking mainstream media channels. Oh, someone was down there with their gun and shooting it off, celebrating. You gotta be kidding me. Goodman's checking in. Thank you so much. Look at this. Member for 11 months. Thank you so much for the support. Says mental health needs more attention. We love you, Bri. Yeah, it's very important. It's very important to get mental health. I've been very open about it. The last year, I've been meeting with a counselor. I've been working on my mental health. I want to be a better person. I want to understand what makes me tick and the traumas that I went through as a child, and try to work on those things. There's nothing wrong with it. Yeah, it was NBC. That's right. It was NBC. Yeah, we didn't know if it was shooting off a gun celebration. You got to be kidding me. But yes, you know, going back to that talking about that, mental health is super important. And that's like why I kind of got offline for a little while. It was like, all right, I need to get off. I need to kind of reground myself here. I was going too fast, too wild, you know, stuck in a world that I've never really been stuck in. And I had to come back and kind of like reel myself back in and find myself and get away from some of the discussions that were happening online. And look, I get it. People are going to love me and people are going to hate me. It's just the way it is. But I'm trying to discover myself to discover within myself to be a better person, to wake up every day and have a little bit more love in my heart. For a very long time, I was a very angry person, you know, and I'm sure that a lot of you all can relate. And as you get older, you tend to want to look at those things and fix them. And this is a situation where people like this need to help themselves. Because someone doesn't agree with you, you shouldn't have to pick up a rifle and sit on a roof with a crowded area of 3,000 people and with that person's wife and children, small children there, and literally assassinate them. To prove what? There's going to be a million other Charlie Kirks in this year. What are you going to do? You're going to shoot a million of them? This is what we've come to now in America, on this planet, that we're going to slaughter people because we don't believe. No, that should not be happening here. But this is what it's getting to, and it's crazy. We all need to bring the temperature down with everything. You know, the attacks on people online. You know, this is what stuff that makes people crazy. But this is not the way to oh, man. It's not the way to do it. If you don't agree with Charlie was saying, or you don't agree with someone saying that is, you know, do your homework. Show up. Sit down. Have a healthy debate. Oh, man. Oh, look at this. Reports James Hetfield stepping up. Is that true? Really? Wow. If that's true, that's pretty awesome. Is there any reports of that out there? Oh, wow. Yeah. Look at this. I don't see any reports. If anybody can find me a report. But, this is what, kids in college have to be afraid of and subject to, that if someone comes out and speak, someone that might be on the left, someone that might be on the right, or just even someone in general that wants to come out and talk about a particular subject, that we have to worry now that they could be literally assassinated in front of you. And listen, and this is the thing, this person knows the level of security. So let's just take the level of security of the president, okay, or a political figure. They know that a president or a political figure is going to have 10 times the security that someone like Charlie could put in place. They're not going to have the Secret Service. So they're not going to be able to do this to, look at what happened with Trump, but I'm sure that a lot of things have changed since then. But, you have a political figure out there that's going to be 10 times the security. Now, I don't know how much security that Charlie had around him. It looked like quite a handful of people. But they're not going to have people that are going to be able to constantly sweep the area or run through and do these drills and prepare for things like this. It's usually low-level security that's in and around that person, so no one tries to physically attack them or punch them. So it's the level of security is just not there. And I also heard that Charlie was wearing a bulletproof vest, and I don't know if that's been confirmed, but there was some speculation that the bullet actually had ricocheted, and that's what went up and actually got him into the neck. All right, let's play a little bit more of this.
Good. How are you doing?
Were you able to see anything?
Be right back.
I was standing right here interviewing people. Hang on. Charlie Kirk got shot? Holy shit. Charlie Kirk got shot in the neck is what my kid is saying.
Your kid's saying Charlie?
Yeah. Oh, my goodness. My son is down there. He says that Charlie Kirk has been shot in the neck. This is unconfirmed. This is for my son who was down there right in front of Charlie Kirk. We're going to go down there and see if we can get any more info. My son just said Charlie Kirk was shot in the neck. I don't know the accuracy of that. You guys okay?
No. Stay. Abby, are you inside or outside?
Have any of you seen this video yet? Let me know in the chat.
It sounded like to me like it came from up there.
Sounded like a sharpshooter? Dude, he just got shot.
Hey, what happened?
All right, we'll play through this video then. Okay, cool. We'll play through this.
Oh, hey, everybody clear out. There's someone here.
There's people, I guess, reported like one guy
We have
standing
multiple
up
eyewitnesses saying that Charlie Kirk has been shot in the neck, that they saw blood spray.
There's people looting his merchandise stand.
Where are you? Okay, calm down. I don't know yet.
I'm getting out of here.
Stay close. You guys up this way. Let's go that way. Hey, move that way. Go, guys. Move that way.
Wow, so close.
Definitely not fireworks.
Sir. This area, so we cordon off this
It's just complete chaos. Yeah, there was people looting the stands, taking those I think they're making America Great hats. They were taking them. Yeah, I did see it. Yep. I watched it today. I would play it, but the problem is they usually ding me with Rogan stuff. Joe Rogan was interviewing Charlie Sheen at the time that they found out. And there's a video of it. You can check it out. You can go to Rogan's channel. But I usually get pulled when I play his stuff. Yeah, I heard something about this. Yeah, it's a point that you're bringing up. I heard something about this. All right, let's play through this video. Watch a little bit more here.
Safety team is here. I just heard them say the active shooter, Charlie Kirk, has been shot. Charlie Kirk got hit, is what the security detail just said.
Law enforcement clearing people out. Surprised they're allowing him to stay there right now.
My son just messaged me and says that Charlie Kirk.
Oh, I have the video of the bullhorn.
Now, quick! Get him out.
Let's see this.
You go right now. Get out of here.
So I did find the video of the bullhorn guy. We'll pull that up in a second. Have a good night, Sophie.
Hey.
No.
He's out. He's out. He made it out. He's fine. He's out. He made it out. He's fine. He's looking for you. He's looking for you. Hang on. Hang on. Hang on a second. Where are you located? Where are you? South side. Okay. Call Liam. Sorry, you all right? I'm going to hang up and call you. There's a door here, but I don't think he'll let me in. I'm going to hang up and call him because I'm going to call him.
You actually, hey, sir, did you say you saw it happen?
Yeah. I want to pull this up and we'll just all, let's see. Okay. Well, let me grab the video and then everybody can make their determination of what has been described. So this one here was just after Charlie Kirk was shot. And I'll just let you guys decide in the chat what you think it is. So let's play the video.
Hey, yo, grab your hat. Come on, guys, come on. Let's go, guys. I don't know. Let's go. I have no idea. Let's go. Come on, guys. What are you doing? Get the fuck out. Let's go. Yeah. Grab me out. Grab me out. Let's go, guys. Come on. Let's go, guys. I don't know. Let's go. I have no idea. Let's go. Come on, guys. What are you doing? Get the fuck out. Let's go. Yeah. Grab me out. Grab me out.
Minutes after Charlie, this is like seconds
I don't know. Let's go. I have no idea. Let's go. Come on, guys. What are you doing? Get the fuck out. Let's go. Yeah. Grab me out.
Not a problem.
Grab me out. Let's go, guys. Come on. Let's go, guys. I don't know. Let's go. I have no idea. Let's go. Come on, guys. What are you doing? Get the fuck out.
I mean, this is how people act. I have the bullhorn guy that everybody's been talking about. I wonder what the comments have been like. No comments yet. Wow, interesting. No one's come back to this video. And this might be the video that people are talking about. Let's play this. And if this is the video that people are talking about, let me know. Because I know someone in here said the bullhorn guy. And I've seen this video. I remember actually seeing this.
So now we know that you're like a blatant narcissist that needs attention at all times to cut in line.
I remember seeing this.
Tell us what's so pressing that you needed to interrupt us before he could even talk.
So let's talk about the 200 people deported without due process to El Salvador. I don't know if you saw this morning, but a United States citizen was actually deported.
It was not a U.S. citizen. That's not correct.
Liar.
It's not a U.S. citizen. It was actually,
come on.
No, it was someone that was living here. Yeah, it was not a U.S. citizen.
Hey, this guy just lies. He it's not.
No.
Hey, no. You wanna have a debate, but you don't.
It was
debate.
not a U.S. citizen. First of all,
You want to have a debate, but you actually don't debate. There's nothing more ill-faith than this.
So
you're not.
we already
let's stop this for a second. I'm going to go to. So the thing you have to kind of think about this. Let's just use some logic here, okay? But I'm going to pull up the photo. So this is a photo of the said suspect. Okay. So let's just think though. You don't think that the FBI, with all the speculation out there, hasn't tried to figure out who that guy is and maybe contacted him? You got to think probably have, right? Let's just logically think about this. Okay. Do you think that the FBI has probably identified that guy in that video? And I could be wrong. I could be wrong, because they could say, hey, maybe that guy does look a little similar to this guy. Let's reach out to him. We know that they had a debate 5 months ago. They probably have figured out who that is. Again, I could be wrong. I'm only speculating. Does kind of look similar. But I'll go back to, let's go back to the video. We'll play through it and we'll just watch a little bit more here. And this is why I like we have these discussions. And we can start kind of piecing and putting all this stuff together and just getting everybody's different ideas and thoughts on it. And it is a very sad day. It's a terrible, sad day. It's been a terrible couple days in America. I mean, here we are on 9/11, where almost 3,000 people lost their lives from terrorist attack. Charlie Kirk is assassinated yesterday. We had a school shooting. We had the Naval Academy shooting. I mean, it's just like crazy. It's too much. Here we go.
Name 2 times. Name 2 times where you've changed
show me you're losing without telling me you're losing.
What? So you're just going to lie?
Well, first of all, it's not a U.S. citizen. He was living here for a while. He was part of MS-13. Answer yes or no.
Okay.
Should members of a terrorist organization be able to stay in the United States after they've murdered, raped, and gone after American citizens?
Obviously, no.
So we have deported those people back to their country.
The Fifth Amendment
That's what they've done.
calls for due
The Fifth
process.
Amendment does not apply to foreign
That's
citizens
bullshit.
that are
It
here
says
illegally.
all persons.
No. It's only to U.S. citizens.
That's a lie. He's a liar.
So, okay.
He can't debate. He just...
But this is what it should be like. This is what a debate looks like. Not someone that climbs at the top of a roof and sets up a rifle and takes a shot and assassinates someone. That's not how we handle or change things. All right, I'm going to bounce back to, let's Let's see. Oh, I closed it by accident. Let me go to, and again, you may not agree with Charlie's politics. You may not agree with the politics of the man that was speaking, but they're doing it in a civil way. And that's how this all should be handled. Let's see this. This is an interesting drone footage that I found. This was drone footage of the area over the campus. Let's play this. Yeah, isn't it weird? It's weird, isn't it, Vincent? Did you hear about the Framingham teacher? That's it's on leave, not fired, on leave. And believe me, you know, all these rats that came out and they're celebrating this, you should never celebrate anybody being fucking assassinated. I don't care if you're left or right. You know, and I hate saying this stuff too, like shame on those people, but fuck them. You know, you're going to go out and celebrate someone that got fucking assassinated in front of their wife and kids. That's fucked up. Yeah, I hope they get this guy soon. So there's that gravel up on the roof. Yeah, I think so too, because there's a lot of wind, and you can even see it with the police tape there. I think this person knew what they were doing. Oh, really? Look at this. The one that Aiden exposed on in Wachusett is on leave too. Wow. Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah, it's sad. Yeah, it's pretty sad. It's pretty sad. Yeah. So that's the area that the shot came from, up on that gravel roof. I think this guy definitely has some training in shooting, possibly ex-military, possibly less ex-law enforcement, but has definitely been shooting a weapon for a long time, because that's pretty far shot. Yeah, I think so too. All right, that was there. Let's look at the teacher that's on leave. Should have been fired. This bullshit about on leave. This is what they're celebrating. I don't know if there's any volume here. Ridiculous.
God bless America.
Disgusting human being.
God bless America.
Gross. So I have an article here. Let's see. Framingham teacher is on leave, not fired, fucking on leave. That's how we handle it here. After posting about Charlie Kirk's death, a Framingham teacher has been placed on leave after a video that surfaced on social media platforms appeared to show her celebrating. No, she was fucking celebrating. Let's call it what it is. Okay, I'm tired of this, like, appeared to be. It appeared to be. I mean, we just watched the video. She's celebrating it. Let's see. Celebrating the fatal shooting of conservative commentator Charlie Kirk. Framingham superintendent of schools Robert Tremblay did not identify the teacher. There are names out there, but several social media accounts posted a video from the Instagram account Memo Sam, which since has been deleted. Tremblay did not say whether the teacher was on paid or unpaid leave. The account biography describes a mimosa lover, special education teacher. Tremblay said Thursday, September 11th, that the district found about the social media post on Wednesday night and took immediate action. He said that the teacher was on leave pending an initial review. Kirk, we know his background. Let's see. In a statement, Tremblay said, as the district are committed to fostering a safe and respectful environment for everyone, we not condone violence or hateful behavior in any form. While the law prevents us from discussing specific personal matters, the employee is on leave pending an internal review. Be assured that we are addressing the situation in full compliance with applicable laws, regulations, and policies. That's because they don't want to get fucking sued. Oh, we got to do it this way. The video shows a woman, allegedly the teacher, singing God Bless America. No, she was fucking singing it. Stop saying this alleged shit. While smiling and zooming on a television headline that reported Kirk's death, the video has been shared numerous times on X and Facebook with people calling for the teacher to be fired. Yeah, she needs to be fired. Yeah, she needs to be fired. Exactly. Caroline says, any teacher that acts like this and puts it online, zero tolerance for to be near our children. Exactly. Framingham is the only district to suspend a teacher due to social media posts. The Wachusett Regional District, Holden, Paxton, Princeton, Rutland, and Sterling also suspended teachers due to the social media posts. I mean, this is fucking wild. It's how crazy. Daily News attempted to reach the teacher, his name on social media for comment on Thursday. Her voicemail box on her cell phone was full and not accepting messages. The Daily News is not naming the teacher the account holder without confirmed identity. Fuck you. You know who it is. So she deserves everything that's coming to her. Hopefully she gets fired. Oh, man. Exactly. Fire her. Fire her. Let's see what else is going on. A lot of Sky Valdez out there. I'm seeing the twit. I'm looking at the twit right now. A lot of Sky Valdez. Let's see. Anything else? There's been some things about hand signals. I'm seeing. Excuse me. Let's see. I'm just saying, like, a lot of this hand signaling. I'm reading a lot about that. Let's see what else is out there before we. Let's see if we see anything else before we lock it up tonight. What else? What else is out there? Play this from ABC News before we lock this one up. And listen, I appreciate everybody being here. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. We still have a lot to say on this channel. LTL ain't going nowhere. All right, let's play this.
An urgent manhunt is underway right now for the person who assassinated Charlie Kirk. The FBI releasing these images of a person of interest in the fatal shooting. Take a good look. You can see him there with dark sunglasses, a hat, and a shirt. Authorities say they're reviewing images that show a man entering campus, going through stairwells, up to the roof, firing, and fleeing into a neighborhood.
Nice to see the
They
name.
believe a single shot was fired approximately 200 yards away. Authorities were on a roof today. You see them right there near the spot where a person was seen yesterday. The FBI says it recovered a high-powered bolt-action rifle, the weapon they believe killed Kirk. The 31-year-old was a prolific conservative commentator, and his killing is sparking difficult questions about the safety of political figures now in America. We begin tonight with Morgan Chesky on the scene.
Tonight, the massive manhunt. The FBI releasing these images of a person of interest in the assassination of Charlie Kirk, offering a $100,000 reward for information, revealing they've now found the weapon that was used.
It is a high-powered bolt-action rifle. That rifle was recovered in a wooded area where the shooter had fled.
So the thing that's very odd about it, and I think there's been a lot of questions about this online, is that, and I just saw kind of breaking down that new video, and I want to go through this for a second, and someone kind of makes this point, and let's play this video, and then we'll go back and talk about the rifle
and more potential critical evidence near the crime scene.
Thank you,
Investigators have also collected footwear impression, a palm print, and forearm imprints for analysis.
President Trump late today.
I hear they're making big progress.
And we're getting new information about the grim timeline. Investigators say the shooter arrived on Utah Valley University's campus at 11:52 a.m. We spoke to Utah DPS Commissioner Bo Mason.
We know what time the gunman arrived on campus. Do we know if he had the rifle with him when he did?
We believe he did. We believe it was with him the entire time, concealed.
Authorities say surveillance video captures him climbing stairwells to the top of a building, then moving across its roof to the shooting location, which was roughly 175 yards away from the stage. The roof with easy access.
It is very accessible.
Jennifer, thanks so much for the 5.
Not even doors. There's open pathways with railings that you stand over.
So there's somebody on the roof right there?
This video appearing to catch a glimpse of a figure dressed in black up on top of that very roof. Then Kirk arrived for the event, throwing hats to a cheering crowd before taking audience questions under a tent. Around 12:20 p.m., he was answering a question about mass shootings.
Do you know how many mass shooters there have been in America over the last 10 years?
Counting or not counting gang violence?
Great.
The video too disturbing to show. 3,000 people in the crowd, then screaming and running for their lives. Security rushing Kirk out in a black SUV. While this video appears to show someone up on that roof running away. Amid the chaos of that fatal shot, authorities say the gunman then jumped off a building, making his...
Why do these fucking reporters always do this? What we see here is it came down here. They all get like this fucking voice. What we see here is where the shooter took the shot. Like, what is that? Why? Why do they all act like that? You hear it like you hear it a lot in like baseball games too. Like, that guy's gonna get it really. He's gonna do good. He's gonna be that guy right there is gonna get done. Like, why are they? Here comes the shooter, and they're like moving their fucking hands, and oh god,
his way off this campus into a nearby neighborhood. Brandon Russin was close to the stage.
All of a sudden, my heart just dropped to my stomach, and I knew after seeing the graphic nature of that shot that it was real, that Charlie had been shot.
After diving to the ground, he texted his wife. What do you say?
The most important words I can say: I love you.
And Morgan joins us now live. Morgan, we are seeing the alerts tonight come into the newsroom. They are now telling the public there are rapid developments. What do we know?
Yeah, Tom, that's right. And we're still awaiting those extra details. But Commissioner Mason did tell me that when he viewed this surveillance footage of the suspect as they made their way across campus, he said he appeared to be comfortable, almost familiar with the layout of this campus, adding that when that fatal shot was fired, the gunman did appear to have a face covering on, concealing his identity. Tom?
Morgan Chesky with that new reporting right there. Morgan, we thank you. Now to the growing security concerns after Charlie Kirk's assassination, with President Trump tonight revealing he'll attend Kirk's funeral next weekend. Gabe Gutierrez has the late details.
At the Pentagon, honoring today's 9/11 anniversary, President Trump announcing he'd posthumously award Charlie Kirk the Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Charlie was a giant of his generation.
Vice President Vance landing late today in Utah to see Kirk's family. The president speaking with Kirk's wife, Erica, by phone.
We had a long talk, and she's devastated.
And suggesting he knows the motive.
I have an indication, yeah, but we'll let you know about that later.
The 31-year-old conservative star remembered tonight for rallying young voters and encouraging open debate, often taking questions from Democrats on campus.
Do you think gun ownership is a privilege or a right?
I think it is a privilege.
That's where we disagree.
Donald Trump Jr. was a close friend.
He could just relate to people, even his biggest detractors. I mean, on a daily basis,
Charlie Kirk gave them a platform to debate these ideas.
The president now blaming what he calls the radical left.
For years, those on the radical left have compared wonderful Americans like Charlie to Nazis and the world's worst mass murderers and criminals. This kind of rhetoric is directly responsible for the terrorism that we're seeing in our country today.
But threats against high-profile figures from both parties are on the rise. Capitol Police telling NBC News its agents are on track to work through roughly 14,000 threat cases this year alone, which would be a 48% increase from 2024. In just over a year, there have been 2 attempts on President Trump's life. A Democratic state lawmaker and her husband were murdered in Minnesota, and the residence of Pennsylvania Governor Josh Shapiro was firebombed.
The assassination of Charlie Kirk risks an uncorking of political chaos and violence that we cannot risk in America.
Just today, a string of threats forced several historically black colleges and the DNC headquarters to be locked down. Tom?
We thank you for watching, and remember, stay updated.
Oh, boy. Let's go back live to this feed for a couple minutes. Let's see what's going on. Oh, I don't want to play my own feed. What am I doing? Let's see.
And lastly, how as the day...
So the interesting debate that I just saw, and I'm glad they just pulled that little piece of video up. I'm going to play that piece of video. The interesting
cell
debate.
Phones, in fact, cell phones have been extremely valuable as an investigative tool, both in a variety of different ways, going back to certainly the 90s. I can tell you when I worked counter drug investigation in the 90s, we didn't have the same things we had today, but we had tools where we could figure out in general.
So a debate that I just saw on X was why, when the shooter is running and they said that they found this gun in that wooded area across the street, that it looks like the shooter doesn't have a gun at all.
Where somebody was. And certainly with the tools today, a cell phone would be invaluable, but it depends. I mean, he could have turned his cell phone off. He could have disabled his cell phone. He may not have carried his cell phone. That due to,
he's got a bag with him.
I would say, to entertainment media and everything else.
He's got a long, you can see it right there. He's got a long bag with him. So I don't know if he threw it in that bag and ran. It looks like a gun bag to me. I mean, you can see this bag right here, this black bag, and that bag throws over his shoulder before he hits the ground. All right, let's play here.
That is so well known that I would think that if he was thinking it through, he probably would have either turned off his cell phone or not carried his cell phone on him. Certainly wouldn't need to have a cell phone on him for what he was doing, unless he was trying to monitor something. But they would look at that. Now, the problem they have is he was in a very crowded area. There was about 3,000 people in there. So that does make a bit of a challenge trying to separate him out from everyone else. But then again, he was on that roof. And if they can figure out, if they can geolocate him to the point where they can figure out, well, who was on that roof at that time? I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that if anybody was on that roof at that time, they're suspicious and need to be brought in. But yeah, they might be able to do that. But it's the technology's there, but there are challenges with anything. And obviously the fact that he's not in custody yet tells me a few things that maybe he had anticipated that as an investigative technique and took appropriate countermeasures or whatever to avoid that being a vulnerability for him. And and for all we know, he could have gone out there and got dropped his phone and got a burner phone or something like that. And so there's a lot of different ways to that he could have done that.
And Hal, what about, I want to talk a little bit about the possible planning stages, because we found out today that this event was only known to the public about 6 days before this actual event happened. So what kind of planning do you think went into this? Is he looking at Google Earth images to kind of get a satellite view of the area? Is he going to the actual area to kind of scope it out?
Well, obviously, we don't know because we don't have him yet. And that would be things that we will find out.
Could be true.
But in general,
possible.
Yes, terrorists, would-be assassins will Usually they'll start their, they're going to basically do reconnaissance and surveillance of the target area. And usually that starts online. And they will go to things like Google Earth and other other websites or applications that they can use to get a really good idea of what's going on, get an idea of who will show up. They may have visited the campus a number of times to, what we sometimes call to develop a pattern of life, which is to understand kind of how the campus operates, how the law enforcement on campus operates, how these events go. So he could have maybe seen another event. I don't know if there was one, but he could have seen something just to get kind of a feel for how these things work. And he may have done a dry run or trial run where he actually got out on that roof. And at some point, probably in the middle of the night or something, got on the roof, got up there, got in position, looked down, try to figure out what the line of sight would kind of look like, and then figure out his how he's going to get out of there. And he may have climbed down that roof and jumped before. Again, I don't think that jumping off that roof was such a great idea, but
yeah, I saw the speculation about that.
In his mind, the smartest thing that he could do. So that's what he did. So he made.
Candace Owens was posting about that. I don't know if that's been any part of this investigation, but yeah, I did see that report as well too. It's just so crazy that you look at the shooters here. There's people walking all through this area, and he's just out in plain sight. It's wild. You see people kind of walking in and out of this area. I mean, I guess they would. I mean, students, they're on campus. But look at this, how close this person, look at the car that just drives by. It's wild.
Moving through their backyard. So he may have done it in such a way to avoid being observed by the streets in case there was patrolling going on, looking for him. And then get into that wooded area and then move to a place where he had a car stash or something that would not be a road that was linked to the campus, because he may have realized, look, when they come in here, they're going to block off all the roads. They're going to do this, do that. He may not have known, but he's probably studied previous assassins, previous terrorists. That's what we normally see, is they do this very, very extensive kind of history thing where they look at all the other tactics, techniques, procedures, the previous types of attacks to glean as much as they possibly can to come up with their own plan. And so he may have looked at this and said, okay, I'm going to do this in such a way that I'm going to egress on foot through an area that they can't easily observe me from the road, and then get to a point where I get to a road that would not be a road that they will block off, and then maybe get miles away before I hit maybe even before he hits what I call a hardball road or a paved road. He could have been on.
I'm seeing a report here from 9 hours ago, but this is on Candace Owens' X account. Let's look at this really quick. ShamWow, thank you so much. To seen this already. I came for your opinion. This is show and tell. $7 Canadian dollars to complain. Thank you so much for the support, my Canadian friend. Check this out. The shirt, I was asking about the shirt. We'll go back to the live feed here in a minute. But Candace Owens has this up on her X account, and it's interesting because I was asking about what the possibility could be of the writing on that shirt, and this looks pretty damn close to it. It says the suspect appears to be wearing the shirt. From the tips I'm getting, it looks like it was sold at a Disabled Veterans National Foundation. Not sure exclusively, but this, I mean, it looks pretty dang close to that shirt. And on the shirt, it's written, it says, "Land of the free, home of the brave." And and this is, again, people are speculating that this could be this person named Sky Valdez, but it looks pretty close to that shirt. Interesting. Let's go back to the live feed for a little bit. Nope. Is the FBI back? Let's see.
FBI.gov/Utah Valley shooting. all lowercase. You can also provide general tips about the shooting by calling 1-800-CALL-FBI. That's 1-800-CALL-FBI, or at tips.fbi.gov. This is, I would just say, this is not just a local matter here in Utah. We have people all over the country that are helping to bring this perpetrator to justice for Charlie Kirk and his family. I will just add as well that, as was mentioned, there is a lot of forensic evidence that is being processed right now at both the state lab and and federal labs, federal lab in on the East Coast. So we are working in tandem together. I would also just add a word of note for those people who are spending so much time on social media. I think Charlie said it best, that when things get bad, we should put our phones down and spend a little time with our families. There is a tremendous amount of disinformation. We are tracking our team, the state team, and I'm sure the federal team as well. What we're seeing is our adversaries want violence. China, we have bots from Russia, China, all over the world that are trying to instill disinformation and encourage violence. I would encourage you to ignore those, to turn off those streams, and spend a little more time with our families. We desperately need some healing. We'll have more to say about that in the days and weeks to come. More than anything, we are going to catch this person. Last thing I will just say is we've been working with our attorneys, getting everything that we need, affidavits ready, so that we can pursue the death penalty in this case, and that will happen here in the state of Utah. Again, to the public, to those who are grieving, thank you for your prayers. I know we are feeling those prayers. I know the Kirk family is feeling those prayers as well. We pray that God will bless our nation at this very dark time. We can start healing by finding this perpetrator and holding him accountable, and we need your help to do that. Thank you.
That was the latest update from officials, from the governor of Utah and others. You are watching live now from Fox. We are going to take a 2-minute break. We will be back with more. When we come back, we'll take you out to New York City. 24 years ago today, a terrible, terrible 9/11 attacks happened.
Yeah. Oh boy. Last couple of days have been crazy. They really have. Really, really crazy the last couple of days. But my friends, I wanted to come on and just get your thoughts and talk a little bit about this, because it is important, and the things that we do here, especially on YouTube and online, all the creators and people that have shows, we're thankful for free speech. I'm able to come on here tonight with a microphone and a camera and meet with all of you in this chat, and we can have Discord here in this chat and have discussions and conversations. And look, tonight, people in the chat, some agreed, some didn't agree. There were points that were made tonight that I agreed and disagreed with some of the videos that we watched and some of the things that people were talking about. But this is the way that it should be done. And this is the way that Charlie Kirk tried to do these types of things, to have people come up and debate him. Do your homework, sit down right across from me. Let's grab 2 microphones. Let's have an open discussion and talk about it. And that's the way that this should be done. It should not be solved with someone that climbs on the top of a roof cowardly with a weapon, lines up their weapon with 3,000 people in the area, his wife and kids, and decides to take his life. This is not how we change America. This is not how we change our landscape. This is not how we get our political points across. And I'm saying this for the left and the right, and for independents, wherever you land on the political spectrum. This is not the way to get things done. It's not going to help. It's only going to hurt. And we are, in this country lately, lowering ourselves to a level that should not be lowered to. And believe me, I'm going to say things on here that people don't agree with. I get it, but that's why we do this. So again, I'll keep my eyes on this. We'll see if there's any more updates from the FBI over the next day or two, and hopefully they catch this person of interest. Hopefully this is the person that did it, and they can completely identify that. As we saw, they are doing some DNA testing. They're doing some, I think, palm print testing, and just doing the right thing to try to capture this person. You don't want this person running around. You know, they may do something else. We don't know. But please hug your family members tonight closer. It's been a wild couple of days, and it's crazy that we're sitting here and we're talking about this on, you know, one of the most saddest days in American history, 9/11. And but I just wanted to come on and talk a little bit about this. I've been watching it, you know, over the last 24 hours, and I thought it was important to come on and give people a space to talk about this stuff and hear, you know, get my opinion out there and see if you agree or disagree. But again, we'll keep up to date, and we'll see how this all shakes out, and say a prayer. Say a prayer for Charlie's family, the people that were at the university that day that had to witness that, especially Charlie's wife and his kids that are going to have to live with this for the rest of of their lives, traumatized. And really, I mean, say a prayer for America right now, and pray that the FBI catch this guy, because we don't need someone like this running around. All right, everybody. I appreciate you all being here in the chat. If you haven't, make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Again, I am not going anywhere. I still have a lot to say on this channel. It's very nice to see all of you come in and hang out this evening and having good, you know, open conversation. And there's been people in here that have agreed, and there have been people that haven't agreed, but we have done it in a civil way this evening. And this is the way that these things have to happen. So thank you all for being here. I love all of you. Again, you know, we'll keep an eye on it and see what happens over the next couple of days. And hopefully we have a suspect in custody by the morning. I think they're getting close. Again, keep in mind, the FBI always know a little bit more than the general public. And we'll see what happens. But thank you all for being here. Thank you for the support this evening. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. It's nice to see the chat names in here. I was feeling a little lonely doing some of these live streams over the last couple of weeks, but I'm again working on my health. I have some tests that I need to do next week. It's nothing for anybody to have any major concern. We're going to get through it, and I will keep everybody informed. But it's good to see everybody. It really is. And please, everybody, please, you know, again, say some prayers for your loved ones. Hold them a little bit tighter, and we'll keep up to date on this. So, oh, Megan just said, I haven't gotten any notifications. I needed to unsubscribe and resubscribe. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Yeah, maybe they're shadow banning me again. I don't know. But it's nice to see the chat, and it's nice to see everybody here. And we'll, like I said, we'll keep an eye on this. And I think that's it. I'm kind of all talked out tonight. I think we covered a lot of material. It was nice to see what everybody had to say about this on both sides. And it's nice to see that people in the chat that, you know, that might stand on the left just say, hey, this is not the right way we do it. So again, nice to see everybody. Vincent, good to see you. I'm going to most likely be out there at Sean's arraignment with you. Can you do me a favor? If you know the time that it's going to happen, I think Leroy might have told me and I might have forgot, text me and let me know. because I'm going to be out there supporting you guys. So, okay. Nice to see you, everybody. And we'll keep an eye on this, and hopefully some things turn up by the morning. And I think that's it. I'm all talked out. Everybody have a good night. Talk to you soon. Peace.